next time. Where's the dot, boy? Huh?
Creatives, how are you? Welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. Build the Back to the Future DeLorean Part 2. In this issue, we'll be looking at magazine issue 28. And as always, it comes with a magazine and component parts to build. So let's have a look through the magazine. Another great graphic on the front here, and then some additional graphics at the bottom. As we can see, here are the components for the next section. It's the radiator assembly. And then, as before, we have these step-by-step instructions of what we want to complete in this section. And more about the film. We have a poster of Michael J. Fox. And we have a section here about Mr. Strickland. And as always, we've got a section that tells you what's happening in the next issue, which is issue 29. And on the back, these are the components that come with this section. So we'll put this magazine aside for now, and we'll open up the components that come with this section. This is the radiator assembly that will fit onto the brackets that we put in the previous video. Put screws in there as well. And I like to lay all the sections down as they appear in the magazine, just to make sure I've got everything. So this section here, let's pull them down, this section here, that they all correspond, and this section here. And then we have the screws. We've got AP screws and we've got FP screws. So we'll get our container with our AP screws, which is here, and we'll put our AP screws into the container. And then we've got FP screws, which are here. Again, we'll just cut open the little bag, pour the screws in, and that is all our prep work for the next build. We have our screwdrivers here and we have our screws here. And we're ready to go. For this section, we've brought the car back, and we've also brought these fans back as well. So this section here, which is 28B, sits inside 28A. No screws required, it just slots in there. There we go. Then we get 28C, which is this section, and this goes in here. So turn this round. So this section sits on top of here. Just get it positioned. And that sits on there, and we attach it with screws. We're going to use 2 FP screws. It's a little difficult to see because everything's black, including the screws. So let me just tilt that up so I can see the hole for the screws. Which are here. It's a little fiddly. Let me just get the screw in. There. That screws in there. You might not be able to see it there. And then we put the screw in the other side. This is the radiator assembly. So I'm going to turn it to the light so I can see what I'm doing. There. You can see the screws are in the radiator assembly. So what we need to do now is we need to attach the fan to the radiator assembly. So we need to turn it around to this side. Make sure that these two are pointing upwards, and then we sit the radiator assembly onto here. There's 4 screws in the corner and 2 in the middle, and we will be using AP screws, which are here. We're going to need 6 of them. So let's get them out. There's a lot of these screws, so we just need 6. There's 2 there, 4 there, and 6. And we can put the rest aside. That's our 6 screws there. And we need to attach this fan to the radiator assembly. So let's start with the first screw. I think we'll do the middle ones first. So we need to line this up. And then put the first screw in. I'm going to put it in loosely so that I can line up the other screws. Let's do the one at the bottom. Let's get that one in. I'm going to loosely put them in so that I can adjust this this fan section to line the screw holes with the screws. That screw doesn't want to go in. Get the next screw in. Quite fiddly because everything is black. Let's get this screw in here. And this screw that popped out. Just line it up. Just tighten all the screws up now. Tightening the fan to the radiator assembly. There we go. It's the radiator fan, the fans to the radiator assembly. Now what we need to do is we need to attach the radiator assembly onto the brackets, and to do that we need 2 FP screws. Put the excess ones back in. Got 2 holes here underneath, so we'll probably have to turn the car upside down to do this, because this goes on here like that, and that's the whole front of the car, so I'll probably have to turn the car upside down to do this. And the fan goes inwards like that, and that's where they sit. So I'm going to have to stand up for this section because it's quite fiddly. So line up the holes. just loosely put that screw in and then get the other one in position. Tilt the fan assembly so it's flush. Just make sure that hole is lining up. Like I said, it is quite fiddly just to line up the hole with the screw. Let me just place the screw in, just have a look. I knew we'd get it in eventually. Let's just tighten up this other screw here. Here we go. Let's turn the card back over. There. We've got the fan assembly on. Sorry, the radiator assembly on here. And we've got the fans here. And we can have a good look at the front of the car. We can just, if we can get that in the light, there. There, that's that section in place. The fan assembly, sorry, the radiator assembly and the two fans, all in place. This completes issue 28 of the magazine. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?